What is up, gang? We are back with another video, another watch list. I did not do last week. I had someone in town visiting, spending time with them, and I will not have one next week. Next week, I have my first Ironman triathlon, so really looking forward to that. But without further ado, let's get right into the market. If you did click on the video, thank you so much for being here. It means the absolute world to me. I really hope you're having a great day, and if you love trading, as much as I do, please consider dropping a like, commenting on the video, and subscribing. It would mean the absolute world to me. So let's rock and roll. First things first, we have NQ up on the books. I mean, we're at all-time highs, so this isn't going to be a very in-depth watch list. Like, NQ's at all-time highs. I'll watch for a break and retest over the previous day high. Continuation, that's been working extremely well this past week. I don't know if there'll be a pullback. I know this is that time where everyone expects there. It has to be. I don't know. I mean, the market can be way more irrational than you think. So we're just going to watch price at the key levels, and that's it. So as far as downside goes, again, I have my previous day low down here as well. I'll be watching pullback longs, really. Like, I'm not really watching downside, to be honest. Like, I'm sure we'll make a pre-market low in here somewhere. Like, I'll always watch, like, if we're under pre-market low for a move back down to the PDL, but from a macro perspective, I'm watching pullback long. If we get down to the PDL, I'll watch for a pullback long at 29,000. I'll watch for a pullback long at this pivot high in the PDL zone. You know, I'll watch for a pullback long at this high here, right, at 28,801. You know, underneath the PDL is when I'll start to focus on puts, especially underneath this. If this pullback long fails here, then I'll really start to watch downside to my next level at 28,850. So, or sorry, 28,550. Right, we have this pivot high here as well. So again, that could be another pullback long. We'll see. It's a lot of extra levels on the chart, a lot of other pivots on the chart right now. Doesn't mean I play them. It's just something I keep on the chart just to watch. Really, as far as like demand, like we had this perfect 30-minute demand that we bounced out of last Wednesday. Maybe we come back to this demand. I don't know. I mean, it's just crazy to think this was like a crazy all-time high. Here we are another 1,000 points higher. Like, what are we? This is crazy, man. All right, QQQ, same thing. You know, I'll watch puts underneath the previous day low, of course, underneath 700. I'll watch 700 for a pullback long. I'll watch continuation over the previous day high. ES, though, has 30-minute demand that we did not test like we did on NQ. So I'd be curious to see if we come back down to that this week. So if we're just looking at these levels here, this is what I'll be watching this week, this 30-minute demand. As far as the other levels, our previous day high, break and retest. We have this pivot here at 74.10. I'll watch a pullback long there. I'll watch downside underneath that to the previous day low. We have another pivot here at 73.78 to 73.74. Again, another pullback long potential. We have another previous day low at 73.45 and 73.26. So these are all pullback long spots for me personally. I'm not really looking at real downside unless we get below 7,300. Everything above that, sure, you could get. It's just a little bit, a lot more higher risk in my opinion. SPY, same thing. All right, we have that 30-minute demand down here at 726. 726. Like, it just sounds so crazy to say that. I'll watch upside over the previous day high. You know, I'm just repeating myself at this point, right? Like downside underneath the PDL, but pullback long here at 733. You know, another previous day low at 729. I guess, you know, I would be watching downside underneath this 732 pivot. I am cautious of this high here at 731. So if we actually get down there, I would be cautious of that. Maybe underneath the 731, I'd like puts better down to 729 and then 727 and so on. Back down to this demand. Let's go over to individuals. Surely can't be at all-time high. Nope. Apple to start off, all-time high, break and retest over the previous day high. We have a really nice 30-minute demand right here on Apple, so I am going to mark that out as well. My main strategy is always just, you know, break and retest, trend entries with EMAs, VWAP. But I do watch very clear demand. If it's very clear, something like this, okay, very small red candle, large aggressive move, and it matches with a previous day high or low. So supply, if it matches, if supply zone, if it matches the previous day high. So like this is a really solid 1 hour demand. We seem to have already got pretty much bounced out of it already at 291. But I'll watch it on 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, weekly, really daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly for swings. But like for just day trading, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, if it's not super clear in on those time frames, I'm not looking at it. But yeah, as you can see on Apple, pretty solid demand here, this 30-minute demand. I'll watch that for a pullback long at 290, right? Downside underneath the previous day low of 290. Let's go over to NVIDIA. NVIDIA, I'm just looking for that move to all back to all-time high at 219. So break and retest over previous day high for a move there. Pullback longs here at 214. It's already kind of holding there already. It kind of got a little bit of a flag look, so we'll see what happens there. NVIDIA's got a lot of news over the weekend as well, so we'll see. We'll watch for continuation over that all-time high. And then we have a really nice 4-hour demand that I'm definitely watching for a pullback long on NVIDIA. This 4-hour demand, we did already bounce out of one. So this is what I'm talking about. See how clear this is? Small green, red candle, large green. We literally bounced out of it perfectly. Oops, way too zoomed in there. Right here. I mean, that's textbook. Wonder if I can zoom in on that and find that. Yeah, right here. So we had this 4-hour demand. Look at that beautiful, beautiful. Of course, it happened when the market was closed. Gotta love that. All right, let's go to AMD. AMD, I mean, continuation over the previous day high. I'll watch that. Pullback longs on the table, right? First pullback long, I would say, would be here at these previous highs here, 432 to 427. So we'll go ahead and mark that out as well. I'll watch for pullback longs there. But guys, to be honest, like I'd rather just focus on just trading SPY and QQQ or futures right now, rather than trying to pull back long here on AMD, to be honest. Maybe like a swing trade or something like that. But yeah, I'll watch that. PDL, I'll watch downside underneath PDL and underneath 401. We do have this gap. So that's really where I'm looking at AMD. Wow, daily demand there. I'll check that out in a second. But this gap here, if we get under 401, it should be a quick aggressive move to fill this gap. But as of now, we do have daily demand now. So I'm going to mark that out. The high of that is 421.71. So let's mark that out. So like this is where, when a market is like this, this is where I'm watching demands, right? Like I don't like watching demand unless we're in a really nice uptrending market. I don't really like watching, like right now, I'm not going to watch for supply zones. I'm not going to trade supply zones because there aren't any because we're at all-time highs. But two, with the market ripping like it's been, it's just it's not my interest. I'd rather watch downside as we break underneath key levels. So yeah, we have this daily and then the open is 417.07. So let's move this, let's duplicate it, move it down, 417.07. So we have this daily demand. So I will definitely watch that for a swing on AMD. So I'll throw some swings on my Robinhood account. Like I trade everything on Thinkorswim. But like I have a Robinhood account as well that I will do for like swing trades and things like that. So or just like trades outside of my Schwab account I'll throw on in the Robinhood. So let's see. Yeah, this whole daily demand from 421 to 417. I'll definitely be watching that. Looks like a good pullback long spot. It's daily demand. I really like daily demand because it's a very high time frame. So that is a strong case for it. Let's go over to Tesla, I guess. Like I haven't been showing them on the watch list recently. Oh wow, I still need to update the levels from Friday. LOL. Tesla's obviously was really strong Friday. I caught a long on Friday for about 44%, which is nice. But I this is what I wanted, but the leaps were just too expensive. Like when we had this break of the trend line and we retested, this is where I was watching leaps, but they were just like insane. I was like, I'll miss this one maybe, or maybe if we get another pullback 402, maybe these highs here 408, I'll look to get in maybe a shorter swing, monthlies, weeklies. But I really wanted a leap option on Tesla, but they're like $10,000 for one contract. So anyways, if you struggle with that, drop a comment below. We did have this 4-hour demand that we came supply and rejected out of, which was really cool to see. This 4-hour supply all the way back from February. That's where that's exactly where we were rejected on Friday. So I got to update those levels, but more of a macro thing here on Tesla. If we get a pullback, previous day high looks really good at 402. We go down to the hourly. Yeah, if we pull back here, hell, maybe, down 400, 402, these previous highs, that would be really great if I could throw on a swing position there. Google and Amazon, all-time high, same thing. I'm just looking for a break of range. Upside over the previous day high and all-time high. I'll look at downside underneath this 392. And then Amazon, literally the same thing. Amazon could not have had a shittier day on. Look at Friday. I mean, that's fucking crazy. Holy, that is just like unbelievable, man. Hopefully you didn't trade that. So yeah, I'll wait for a break of range on Amazon. Upside over previous day high. I do like that actually. Nice little bit of room there. Downside under 268. So that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys. I'm gonna leave off with Tesla so I can update that after. But thank you guys so much for watching. Have an amazing week inside and outside the market. I'll see you in 2 weeks after I do this Ironman. If you did enjoy the content, please consider dropping a like, commenting, subscribing to the channel. It would mean the absolute world to me, and I'll see you all in the next watch list. Peace.